This shit still boggles my mind.
Every single thing he brings up in this video is not actually a double standard, both in that he's comparing two entirely different things, and also the comparison that he's making isn't even real as far as I can tell. So let's break this down.
If a girl wants a guy who's older, it's a preference. If a guy wants a girl who's younger, it's creepy and immature.
So what are some reasons that some women would like to date older men? Well, as I see it, there are a few that should be fairly intuitive. Older men tend to be more mature, they can offer more stability, they're more likely to be willing to settle down and go into a serious relationship. Now, let's think about the opposite. What are some reasons why some men would exclusively want to date younger women? Guess what? They're different reasons. And this isn't even a real double standard beyond that. If you are 30 years old and you go out with a woman who's 26, literally nobody will bat an eye. People think it's weird when men in their 30s go out with girls still in college. They're matching with 19-year-olds on Tinder. It's like, dude, why is your age range that low? Oh, but why is her age range that high? Dude, she's 19. She's lived 60% of the life that he has. And yes, if I knew women in their 30s that were actively seeking out men that were 19, 20, 21 years old, that would be weird.
A girl doesn't want to date a short guy. It's a preference. If a guy doesn't want to date a girl that's overweight, he's an asshole.
All right, so let's explain exactly why preferences on weight and height are not the same thing. When a woman says that they prefer to date somebody that's taller than them, that is genuinely a preference. What does that mean? That they would prefer that their boyfriend be taller than them. That's pretty much it. And why? Generally speaking, it seems like the reason stems from that they like to hug upwards. They like to reach up when they hug somebody. It's pretty inconsequential things. I don't know that. Well, I guarantee 90% of the women that say they need someone over 6 feet tall would date this man who is 5'5". Or this man. There are a million men that are under 6 feet tall that plenty of women who say they would only date someone under 6 feet tall would actually date. Why? Because it's a preference. That's really it. I was going to use him as an example also, but I don't know if he's actually attractive. Ladies, help me out. Now, I've known muscular men who have said things that they would prefer to have a small and dainty girlfriend that they can throw over their shoulders. That is a preference that, by and large, people don't really have any issue with. But that's a different statement than saying, I don't date fat girls. When you say that, what you are saying is that you think fat people are disgusting. That's not a preference. That's just you addressing an entire segment of the population and going, hey, I want to let you know that I think you are undateable, even though you didn't ask me. And yes, if I knew women that went up to overweight men and said, sorry, I don't date fat guys, that would also be a dickish thing to do.
If a girl wants a guy who can take charge, it's a preference. If a guy wants a girl who will submit to his lead...
What planet are we on? Do we think that asking someone to take charge and making someone submit to your lead are the same thing? Are we speaking English here?
If a girl sets a boundary, it's empowering. If a guy sets a boundary, it's controlling.
Who are you dating? Because men can set boundaries. This is never a thing I've ever experienced. Unless, I don't know exactly what you mean by boundary. Do you mean telling women that they're not allowed to go out with their friends? Because sure, that would be controlling, but it's a bit of a stretch to call that a quote-unquote boundary. I'm pretty sure men are allowed to set boundaries. I was not even aware that this is a double standard that genuinely existed. Hope this helped anybody who sometimes struggles to articulate why these things are not exactly double standards. Now, I know I have a lot of men that follow me, so I am fully prepared for the entirety of this comic session to just be filled with, oh my god, Yuval's first L, but this is the truth. There's not a single thing he says that is genuine. Also, men, do not worry. I am living proof that short kings can indeed succeed.